Now to the Philippines, where former President Rodrigo Duterte has been elected mayor in his home city of Davao, despite being in custody at the International Criminal Court in The Hague. The Davao Election Board says Mr. Duterte won more than 8 times as many votes as his closest rival. He was the city's mayor for 2 decades before becoming president in 2016. The International Criminal Court issued an arrest warrant against him for crimes against humanity following his brutal war on drugs, which left thousands dead. He's currently awaiting trial. We get more from journalist Dave Grunebaum, who joins us from the Philippines capital, Manila. Welcome, Dave. So how does a man in custody win an election by a landslide?
Well, to his supporters back in his hometown, Davao City, he is just a legend who cracked down on crime, who cleaned up the streets. They will tell you that before he came into office as mayor, there was just so much drugs and crime all over the city, and that he took the drug lords on directly and cleaned up the streets. That's why they love him. But obviously, to his detractors, he's a cold-blooded killer. But in Davao City, they absolutely love him. And they came out in droves to show that support for him. As you said, he won by an 8-to-1 margin over his closest competitor. And the people down there, they're coming out to show not only their support for him, but to really send a message to the Marcos family, Ferdinand Marcos Jr., who's the currently president, because the people down in Davao City, they blame him for the fact that that Duterte is now sitting in the International Criminal Court because Marcos Jr., the president, he cleared the path for Duterte to be arrested and extradited.
Okay, so Duterte being detained by the ICC because of the deaths that followed during his cleanup of the streets. So he's there. Who runs Davao while he's in jail in the Netherlands?
So Duterte's daughter, Sarah, who's currently the vice president, she says they're actually talking to lawyers to see if there's a way that he can get sworn into office. They would have till the end of June to really figure this all out, hypothetically. So they're talking to lawyers to see, if there's a way he could actually still be mayor while he's in detention in The Hague, thousands of miles away. But I spoke to several political analysts and lawyers here today who tell me there's just no way that's going to happen. That if the Dutertes really tried to make that happen, that it would be challenged in court ahead of time, and that the courts would never allow that to happen. Assuming that's correct, and that would be the case, what happens is that the vice mayor assumes the responsibilities, and that means it would go to Rodrigo Duterte's son, Sebastian, so it would just stay in the family.
Okay, really is a family business there. And you mentioned that the daughter, Sarah, currently vice president, who herself is facing impeachment. And I wonder if this massive victory for her dad is in any way politically helpful for his daughter.
Not only does it help her and the whole Duterte brand, but more importantly, there was a Senate election for 12 of the 24 Senate seats that also went on. And when you talk to political analysts of the way that lines up, the key thing for Sarah is the magic number of 9. Between all 24 seats, she needs to make sure that at least 9 people would not convict her. And you like to think these decisions are made based on the evidence, but the fact is in the Philippines, for many of these senators, it'll be based on which way the political winds are blowing that would favor them. And every analyst I spoke would say that Sarah Duterte has probably achieved that she's now going to have enough people that would vote not to convict her. And the importance of that is that then would allow her to stay on track to run to be president in 2028. Keep in mind, the current president, Ferdinand Marcos Jr., he's limited to 1 term. And if Sarah Duterte becomes the next president, Ferdinand Marcos Jr., the current president, would have a lot to be fearful of, because then Sarah Duterte could take revenge on him for clearing the path for her father to end up being sent to the International Criminal Court. So the drama could just continue here.
Okay. Philippines politics, a family business. Thanks for talking us through that, Dave. Journalist Dave.